I fucked up. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Amyrlin Study. I'm Jess, your Amyrlin seat, and today we're going to be geeking out about a picture that the Wheel of Time on Prime Twitter account dropped today. First of all, there's some news happening today. First of all, the Wheel of Time on Prime Twitter account dropped a video of Rosamund Pike talking about how the seals on the Dark One's prison or whatever, and the Dark One is coming, something like that, and the trailer is dropping tomorrow, September 2nd at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. A very exciting time to be alive. Personally, I'll be in an airport, but I'm going to do my best in terms of reaction videos. But they also dropped an image of Moiraine standing way up high on a building and staring out at the landscape, and we're going to geek out about that today because I want to geek out and I want to talk about it, and that's what's going to happen. So let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, this huge, epic panoramic view is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm a little bit bummed that we're not seeing the bridges because I'm very excited to see what those look like, but I am still really stoked by this. We are obviously in Tar Valon. You can see with all the little buildings and everything down below. Awesome. This means that Moiraine is standing in the White Tower. So she is at the tower, confirmed. And now let's talk about this dress. Okay. The first thing that I noticed when I looked at it is that there are some details that seem to be kind of Elizabethan style inspired. Namely, the shoulder rolls. That's an Elizabethan thing on dresses and doublets for men. And the little roll at her waistband. That's not exactly Elizabethan, but it seems kind of Elizabethan inspired. Separate bodices and doublets would often have different kinds of sort of flaps, for a better way of putting it. They could be like individual tabs going around or just like one long piece going around. And it sort of made it flare out a little bit at the hips. So that seems Elizabethan inspired to me. Another thing that I'm noticing on this skirt is that it seems very clear that she's wearing some kind of supportive garment underneath it to keep its volume. Hard to tell if that's going to be a bunch of petticoats or if it's going to be some kind of a hoop skirt, or in Elizabethan period they call it a farthingale. The other thing I noticed on the skirt is that those are cartridge pleats, which is another very popular method of pleating for the Elizabethan period. So I thought that was really interesting as well. I do notice that on her left arm, the sleeve, which goes straight down, has a little bit of flare out at the wrist, which I think is really interesting. It looks a little bit like there's a zipper, but I feel like there can't be, right? Because, I mean, they didn't have zippers. Did they? I don't think they did. Anyway, another really interesting detail is that the shoulder rolls, it looks like it's almost a separate piece, and it looks like it's made of leather or something like that. And it looks like it might almost like a sleeveless bolero jacket. It's not a vest, but the best way that I can think to describe it is a sleeveless sleeveless bolero jacket. And it looks like it angles up. We can't see obviously what's under her hair. I'm really interested to see what it looks like in front, if it goes over the bust as one piece, or if it goes along the décolletage. I'm really excited to see what that looks like. Looking at the detail at the bottom of her skirt, I'm wondering, that kind of has to be, that has to be pattern in the fabric, right? I can't imagine that she'd be just hanging out at the tower in a dress that has a bunch of mud and water damage and stuff on it. That doesn't seem right. I also don't think that she'd be traveling in something this fancy, so that must be just the design of the fabric. The color is absolutely lovely. I really like it. It's just such a nice, rich royal blue. It almost feels like the patterning on the fabric kind of detracts from it, but I suppose if it were just like one solid color, it'd be kind of boring. So yeah, I am flipping out about this dress. This is amazing, and I absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to see the rest of the costumes in this fucking show. It's going to be so just like a cosplayer's dream. I can't wait to see it. I think it's interesting. Well, I guess it isn't that interesting because I feel like it seems like Moiraine had her hair down a lot in the books. So I like that she has this half style. It's kind of hard to tell from here, but it looks like there are braids going up the side. And then it's like a bun on the top with some kind of ornament stuck in the middle of it. Really looking forward to seeing what the front looks like. I'm like just as excited about what they do with hair as what they do with costumes. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm so stoked. I'm stoked about the show. I'm stoked about the trailer, and it's just basically a wonderful time to be alive. So, you know, that's fun. And with that, you've been subject to my theorizing and sort of vaguely educated guesses about style and just general wigging out about things. Recording videos often feels like to my ADHD brain that it's a very high barrier of entry, which makes it difficult for me to get started doing a video unless I'm really excited about something like this picture. But even the other stuff that Wheel of Time on Prime has dropped that I've been really excited about, like I haven't been able to actually like do the reactions, and I really want to do those. So, but one thing that I'm doing is I'm going to start exploring YouTube Shorts and Instagram Stories and Reels a little bit more. Those are very accessible because they're right on my phone. Anytime that I happen to have a thought about something, I can just grab it and record something really quick. So yeah, I'm kind of just thinking about things that I can do to make sure that there's content coming. But anyway, I digress. Well, I think I'm going to let you go. Don't forget to like and subscribe, tell your friends, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Amyrlin Study. And until next time, stay hydrated and, be careful standing around on balconies that don't have railings on them.